Fantasy Football is back with some part 2 of the top 25 running backs for this upcoming 2018 season. I am Jason Wersma. That is Michael Stancifer. This is Tankers Fantasy Football, and we're going to get right into it, baby. We're going to get into it with, well, we're going to maybe remind you of the top 12 that we listed in the other video real quick. You know, we're going to put those up on the screen for you, and then we're going to get right into this, baby. We're going to lead off with number 13 in Devonta Freeman. And I'm not necessarily a believer. I had him up like 3 or 4 spots, and I looked at his numbers, and I was like,
I mean, he's a guy too. I think you read some of the names above him on the list, and it kind of feels right to have him down in kind of this second tier. Not to be, I guess, somewhat.
We got him listed as the top RB2 in a 12-team league at this moment.
I mean, I don't like the fact that he
I mean, he's not drafted as no fucking RB2.
No,
I mean, that's not fucking happening. He's going beginning of the second round out there.
I know, and a keeper. I mean,
and that's why I'm just not feeling it.
You got to keep him, but I think a guy that's splitting, and maybe not splitting time's the right way to put it, but he definitely has a guy in Tevin Coleman cutting into his snaps out there. I think some of that PPR sex that maybe Devonta doesn't get, old Tevin might.
I mean, yeah, you look at this guy and you remember that breakout season where he caught all those balls, and you look at him last year and he only caught 36 balls and only had 1 receiving touchdown on the season. And I mean, only 14.3 PPR game average out there. And I mean, that's not very RB1 sexy deluxe.
No, and I mean, I suppose one could make the argument, well, you know, the Falcons' offense last year always seemed to just kind of look a little out of sync, but I'm not a believer in Devonta Freeman personally.
I mean, I think he is ranked appropriately here. I mean, and you know, the few guys below him here on the list might be able to jump him possibly, but you know, the next guy we got, he's kind of, you know, had a letdown rookie season. We got some Joe Mixon coming at you.
Oof.
I mean, you know, with only the 3.5 yards of carry, he only had the 4 touchdowns. I mean, I'm just a believer. I think that Cincinnati offensive line got a little bit better. I mean, fucking Jeremy Hill is out of town. I know he wasn't really doing that much all last season, but I mean, I think Joe Mixon, he's lost, that 15 pounds?
Yeah, around about 15, maybe 16.
He was like 240 starting last season. Now he's about like 225, talking about trying to lose another 5 pounds. And if that's the case, I mean, I like them running back right around that 220 range. That's when they fucking got that fucking the best. I think that's when they got their best mobility, that 5'11", 6-foot frame with the fucking 220 pounds. I'm looking for a
nice
guy
balance.
in Joe Mixon. I know we got him ranked at 14 here, but I think he could sneak his ass up into that, maybe that 8 range, maybe that 9. You know, he could usurp guys like McCoy and Dalvin Cook and McCaffrey and Melvin Gordon. He could fucking make that shit happen and sneak his ass up into the back end of the RB1s.
I think so too. I mean, I guess in a guy like Joe Mixon, you know, with Gio Bernard kind of in his specialist role that he's traditionally played in, I think Mixon's going to see a lot of that work, at least on, you know, first and second down. And I think if the Bengals have a modicum of sense, perhaps they'll try to kind of utilize Joe Mixon in more of a workhorse sort of role, sort of use him to grind the clock, grind the time, possess the ball sort of thing.
Hey, you know, throw him more passes. He is a solid receiver out there. I know Gio Bernard's still there fucking around with that, but I think we're looking at a Joe Mixon getting 60 to 70% of this Bengals offensive work, I'm thinking.
I mean, and if anything, for a guy that's going to see, you know, 3/5 or even 3/4 of a team's workload, that's a guy worthy of a gamble, I'd say. You know,
top 15, we're going to give a little bit of a reach here. We're going to go, because it's not necessarily that big of a reach, but I know I'm in love with this situation here. We're going with Rashad Penny rounding off that top 15, and
you gotta love what you're hearing out of Seattle. You have to love it.
They're fucking all in. They couldn't be more all in. I know there's fucking coach speaking this and that, but I don't think Pete Carroll's fucking pulling punches out there. I think he's all in.
You hear him talk about him. He's excited. You know, I know Pete Carroll's looking at stuff with rosy-colored glasses throughout his time, but I think he's a guy too, and he's excited about something. You can definitely see it's genuine.
I mean, Rashad Penny went in that first round, but the Seahawks were talking about even taking him earlier in that first and realized they could probably get an extra pick or two by trading back like 9 or 10 spots and still get their boy, and that is exactly what they did.
Gotta love it. I mean, talking about and he's someone too with some workload figures. Perhaps seeing a base of 250 touches.
And what do you have, like 35 runs over 15 yards last season? They had over 2,000 yards rushing. I don't give a fuck what conference you playing for. Under 2,000 yards rushing on a college fucking schedule is fucking balls deep amazing.
He's crazy.
You watch that highlight fucking reel, and you tell me Rashad Penny isn't deserving of a top 15 fucking ranking, baby. We're going to go into Jerick McKinnon in fucking 16 here because I think his PPR league, and I think he's looking to be on the field for the Niners.
I do too. You gotta love him. In a PPR league, and a lead back in the Shanahan offense in a PPR league. I mean, man, injuries be damned. Injury bug be damned. Jerick McKinnon, just play 16 for us this year. Just show us what you can do out there.
I mean, we're giving him the nod at 16 over some guys here like Howard and Ajayi and the like. But I mean, I think the Niners are an up-and-coming offense. I think they're clanging and banging. I mean, Garoppolo didn't have sexy deluxe because he wasn't throwing it to T.O. and Randy Moss.
No.
He was making it happen, making it work out there against good defenses. Fucking throwing to guys like Marquise Goodwin and Greg Kittle.
Carlos Hyde out there
Carlos
catching
Hyde.
59 passes.
I mean, Pierre Garçon was even on the shelf, and he was still wheeling and dealing out there, just making these fucking defenses look a fool. I mean, I think McKinnon is going to be, a big part of that offense, and
Loving it.
I'm all in on the high-end RB2 McKinnon.
Love it.
We got what? We got fucking Jordan Howard here at 17.
I feel okay with that.
I feel like he could be up a little bit higher, but I just don't know about this new coaching regime.
Well,
they're fucking toting the whip, blowing the fucking horn about Tariq Cohen nowadays.
Loving it. Matt Nagy loves him some Tariq Cohen.
I love me some Tariq Cohen too, and I know that Howard will be getting the carries, and I mean he's run for more yards in his first and second career of like. I think it was any Bears player in their first and second seasons.
Man, that's nuts.
He's blowing.
That's nuts. Considering a guy like Matt Forte, for instance.
Yeah. Jordan Howard is a guy that if the Bears are gonna maybe give him that 30 to 35 receptions, and he's gonna be getting that all in that goal line work, and this offense is looking like it's much improved. He can probably bump up about 3 or 4 spots, but I just don't know. We are very early on right now.
And that's one thing too with Howard. I do like the fact of sort of that goal line, perhaps security, red zone sort of specialist kind of angle, but the lack of passing game work, I think in a PPR could be a bit concerning and sort of justification for knocking him down a few spots.
Yeah. We're gonna, another guy kind of hyperbole here, 18. I like the cut of his jib. At the end of the season, we're gonna go with some Kenyon Drake. I mean, the guy came in when he got the fucking lead job, and Damian Williams went out with that injury after the Ajayi trade. We're talking about weeks 13 through 15. He went out there and got you 24, 23, and 23 PPR points in those 3 weeks right there as soon as they gave him the job.
Oh, I'm talking about 14 receptions weeks 13 through 15 also.
Yeah, that's almost 5 receptions a week out there with the 4.8 yards a carry. I know the Dolphins are a fucking dumpster fire, but we might be talking about the best player on a bad team, and when you're talking about that is definitely a good thing for fantasy football.
I mean, someone's got to see that word. Someone has to see
You gotta be
that
feeling like the Dolphins are gonna be behind in football games. And when you're behind in football games, you don't have Frank fucking Gore with his fucking 3 yards of carry plodding fucking ass, older than me, fucking out there grinding. You don't have his bitch ass out there on the fucking field down 2 scores in the second half, baby. You got Kenyon Drake out there, and I think he is going to be a garbage time eater.
I love it. I love him in that spot too. I think that's porridge not too hot, porridge not too cold.
Yeah, not getting too fall in love with him, not to set yourself up for a letdown coming, because the Dolphins are very capable of a letdown. But I mean, you guys like the cut of his jib. We're gonna give him the nod at 18 over Jay Ajayi, who we have right here at 19. I mean, Jay Ajayi.
See, we're both getting a little flustered about it, J.I. here. You know.
I mean, he was so sexy the year before he comes out, then he gets fucking traded by his old team. You know, he had his flashes with the Eagles. We're talking about a guy whose highest point total last season was like 14 PPR points, and he only reached the end zone twice, one rushing, one receiving.
It just seems for how potent that offense was, and that team in general. I mean, my gosh, you'd think he should have just had so many
And
opportunities.
he probably was slowed down by having to learn the playbook.
Right.
Mid-season,
That's a good
you know,
point.
fucking around.
That's a good
But Garrett
point.
Blunt is out of town, and Corey Clement did look sexy deluxe
Yeah.
in the playoffs last season, but I think they're going to at least start this season giving the full workload, full fucking, you know, they're going to give him all that is first and second down to at least see if he can take the ball and fucking run with it and not look back, baby.
You know, and two, just as a bit of a maybe an asterisk or a bit of a sidebar here too. Don't sleep on Darren Sproles this year either. I don't think that the Eagles are bringing him back for just a 1 year kind of pity
See,
season.
that might be fucking poo-poo on the old Corey Clement train, though.
I think that's going to be the kind of the reality of it. You know, I don't think we can sleep on Darren Sproles, particularly. in the
he
PPR.
is the reason why I'm not all in talking about Corey Clement being a draft sleeper, being a guy you want to
I
get in
like
his late
watching
rounds.
Clement last year.
I mean, you can go out there and get him, but I mean, a guy if Darren Sproles can stay healthy, that is going to severely temper Clement's expectations.
Absolutely.
We round off the top 20, and we're going to give it to the newest Washington Redskin in that backfield. Going to give it some Darius Geis, baby.
I think you gotta like what you
Third
see.
rookie on the top 25. I'm all in.
I think you gotta like what you see, though. He's a guy we know. He's got the juice. Guy says the juice.
He does. I think the fucking Redskins got a goddamn steal
I do too,
in that draft.
And two, with what they're doing on the offensive line, I think that they're trying very
I
hard.
just hate Jay Gruden.
Oh, and
Hate
the
him.
Redskins organization, they are a dumpster fire, a perennial dumpster
That's the only
fire.
reason why I don't have him up a few spots, because the Redskins, I know if Chris Thompson's healthy, he's probably going to be the one catching the majority of the passes, and I just hate Jay Gruden.
I do too.
Hate
I don't think you can trust the brothers Gruden. I just don't
I
think
just
you can.
hate Jay.
I don't think you can. Darius Geis he's a guy, though. I definitely think the Redskins, while they got their man in a good spot, it is them sort of making the statement to say, hey, we want to be a grinding kind of team out there. You know, you've got Alex Smith at the helm. We know Alex Smith, that if nothing else, he's going to at least play safe football.
Yeah. I mean, if Darius Geis is on the field for an Alex Smith-led offense, there's no way I don't pencil him in for an RB2 finish. Like, that's crazy.
solid. I think that's solid, and as a sort of a rookie projection, if you will, I think that's a safe one, man.
Because of the suspension, because, you know, we don't know if he's going to regain his role
Right.
as soon as he's inserted back into that offense come
Right.
week 5. Mark Ingram has slid down to the 21 spot, but I mean, didn't he have a fucking majestic season
My
last year?
God, well, it was his best season on paper, wasn't it?
Oh yeah, by far. He had 10 point. He only had under 10.2 PPR points twice.
Man.
Mark Ingram, Alvin Kamara's out there catching 80 balls. Well, Mark Ingram's out there catching 58, so he's not fucking that far behind. They threw
No.
running backs. That's only those two. Had 138 combined receptions last year. That is phenomenal. The man had 12 touchdowns.
Oof, man.
I mean, if he can go out there and he steps right back into his last season role come week 5, I mean, there's no way around it. He's going to be a high-end RB2 minimum. But we just don't know,
Floor.
so we got him notched in there at the 21 spot. Because losing in those 4 games,
Yeah.
I mean, we're talking about almost a third of the fantasy football regular season. We're talking about
Makes a
playing
difference.
through week 13, which is a lot of leagues do.
Absolutely makes a difference. And if you're talking about a high-end RB2, that's a valuable guy on anybody's roster any given
Well,
week.
you can't go out there and pay. You just can't go out there and pay that Piper. Pay that, like, what is he going like? Probably like back in third, fourth round
early
right now.
Ish.
And that's a high price for a guy that's not going to be there for the first third of the season for you in those fantasy leagues.
I know, man. That's a tough situation. It's sort of sad to see him not a bit higher, and to not have him the first 4 weeks of the season. He's another. With that in that offense, he's a fun guy to watch. Him and Kamara together, man. That's kind of that magic, the mojo, you know.
If the Titans hadn't busted out the fucking love knife, we would have had this next guy here at 22. We got Derrick Henry at 22. But if the fucking Titans wanted to bust out that love knife, we could be talking about Derrick Henry slip sliding all the way his ass up to the fucking above Christian McCaffrey, right around that with Sean McCoy, Dalvin Cook, Melvin Gordon range at that back end RB1 discussion. But since these fuckheads added a Deion Lewis, I mean, we're talking about, I mean, I'm afraid that he's not even going to be able to produce fucking RB2 numbers. Giving him the fucking shotgun blast, because with this Deion Lewis shit,
baby,
until we see it, how this is really going to shape out, because you can't go into week 1 with confidence at all.
No.
At this point, you can't fucking go into week 1 with confidence. So, I mean, if this somehow shakes out, and he is the guy, you know, come weeks 3 and 4, and he is getting the majority of the looks, he gets his ass back bumped up into that high-end RB2 range, but at this point, I'm not even sure he can finish as an RB2 necessarily.
Can't trust it.
I'm so fucking scared.
He's a guy I think you have to just, if you're interested in him, if you can get him at the right price, I think you're looking at him, you know, first bench spot, second bench spot.
I don't. That's not the price. That's not the price right now.
No, I know that.
He's going as a solid.
You can't pay the price.
RB. He's going at that late. He's going that 4th round into the third, late 4th, or early 4th round here.
You can't draft a guy like that.
When you look at the guys going around him, I just can't put my fucking eggs in that basket, babe.
There's way too much uncertainty, too much mystery. The Titans or New England South, I think we could maybe refer to them as. I think they're surrounded in a bit of mystery, man.
Mike Vrabel's coming in town. He's bringing in fucking Patriot
Malcolm
guys
Butler,
and Deion Lewis, and I mean, he might be favoring the old Patriot system running back and to start the season, and that's scaring the shit out of me.
You know, if maybe we do take a page out of the New England book and just wait.
I mean,
see.
I mean, if Derrick Henry's doing what Derrick Henry was doing when DeMarco Murray was the one leading the backfield, and this can piss right the fuck off, I don't even want to touch him. That was fucking gross.
Love knife, baby.
23, we're gonna go fucking guy who showed up last year kind of out of nowhere, maybe help you win some leagues, win some money. Going Alex Collins here at 23.
Man.
I don't know, maybe Alex Collins should be over Derrick Henry out there at 22.
I might put him above old Derrick Henry.
I mean, you might have to, but I mean, right now we got a pencil at 23. The man got 4.6 yards a carry.
Okay with that.
You know, I mean, the 6 touchdowns isn't sexy, but that's okay, especially for an offense like the fucking Ravens was last year.
Puke garbage.
I mean, and after taking the starter range, he took about week 8 is when he really started being that bell cow of that offense. He only had one game under 10.2 PPR points after that mark.
Just it's kind of sexy. I mean, considering they lost their right guard early last season, he was still able to just kind of make something out of nothing.
You got a late draft / waiver round fucking steal last year in the second half of the season. This guy could have won you money. This guy was out there in your flex even. I mean, RB2 or flex. This guy was fucking slicing and dicing for you out there late season.
Out there playing football and on a team that severely lacked any signs of life. Alex Collins was a pulse for them.
Next guy, all you need to do is give me one good reason to take him out of the fucking top 25, because I don't have any. I am not about drafting this guy at all. I got him in here, his name notoriety. People probably think he should be ranked a little bit higher, but I ain't fucking buying it.
Not buying
I'm gonna
it.
give number 24 to Lamar Miller.
Not buying it.
Whatever happened? I mean, he looked so spry with the Dolphins. He put on that Texan uniform and he started fucking running into offensive lineman's back with his head down like a fuckhole. What the fuck happened?
Well, part of it too. I mean,
Ridiculous.
you have to just factor in. I know Ryan Tannehill isn't exactly Joe Montana out there, but he does offer some kind of competence.
Oh, the figures.
The figures are down.
The figures down. We got Hacksaw and fucking Skinner hitting that dude.
No, but I think so much of Lamar Miller's gig is that he is so dependent on things around him to go just right to be successful, and I don't think you can honestly just count on that.
I mean, post-Brock Osweiler breathed a lot of life into other dudes on the Texans like Hopkins and the like, but I mean, Lamar Miller just didn't resurrect his bitch ass.
No, and he's a guy too. I do not enjoy watching him play football.
No.
I can't I think state that any more plainly.
Give him the fucking side.
I mean,
we got fucking double shit guns.
double, baby.
We got double barrel shit guns right now. We're
I
going to give
love
the
it.
last spot, the 25th spot. We're going to give another rookie running back. We're going to go with another first round rookie running back. Patriots drafting running backs in the first round gives me hope, baby. It gives me hope that they're not going to cockright us because they spent a fucking first round pick. If they're going to spend a first round pick to cockright us, well then goddamn. But Sony Michel, baby, we're going to give him the nod. We got Deion Lewis out of town, as we stated. And I mean, you know, James White's that passing down back. But we're looking at a guy, if Sony Michel can fucking keep the ball off the turf, had a little problem with that in college, but if he can keep the ball off the turf, and you only got to battle old sexy Rexy Burkhead for touches, babe.
I think I kind of like those prospects.
Wow.
Not to discount anything that Rex Burkhead's done. I mean, my God, kind of amazing to watch him juking and driving out there,
Amazing how
catching
the
touchdowns.
Patriots just turn these ex-bingo fucking castaways into, like, majestic steeds.
I mean, my God, same with the Bills players, baby. Look at
crazy
you,
how they
we're
do
just
it.
gonna poach.
Except for Gillisley, though.
No, yeah,
The Bills got one over there.
yeah,
baby.
dog.
They don't get the fucking... That
Potential cut candidate.
Sometimes one man's trash is just everyone's trash. Sometimes.
But one guy that I don't think is trash is Sony Michel, and part of that reason being the fact that the Patriots spent a first round pick on a running back.
They don't do that.
They do not do that. And you know, maybe it is just the long con, Bill Belichick.
Oh my God.
Could you imagine?
He's gone too far.
He's too far,
Benching
Billy.
Malcolm
Too
Butler in
far.
the Super Bowl. And then fucking long conning us, man. Just fucking be happy with your fucking rings, you bastard. And
God,
fucking give
baby.
Sony Michel the fucking football.
Give it to him.
All right, baby,
give
that
it to
wraps up the top 25 running backs. If you liked us, you like the cut of our jib, give us a subscribe, give us a share. Quit being selfish. Quit trying to keep Tankers Fantasy Football to yourself. Tell your league mates and all your Facebook frenzies.
Tell them people.
Tell them motherfuckers about this shit. Give us a like. Give us some comments. Got any
Wait.
questions? Hating on our rankings? Fucking let me know out
Yeah,
there, babe.
come on,
Fucking
leave us
let
some
me know.
comments, you
All
know?
right, peace out, baby. Be back with some wide receiver
Love it.
ranks.
Love it.
Cheeseburger.